Okay, wow, goodness. It took me like 20 minutes to remember what I was going to try to say in this video. Um, I wanted to take a moment to document two bugs that were very interesting in writing the Lumi uploader, at least to this point. This isn't all the bugs in any way, shape, or form. I have hundreds of thousands of bugs that I'm sure that I need to address. These are just two that I found really interesting. So one of the things that I did writing the Lumi uploader was I had uploaded a sketch to the remote AVR. So this would be the HM10 connected with a AVR, so that combination. And the HM10 is controlling the AVR's reset line with one of its PIOs. So one of its input outputs is setting the AVR in up or down. It's resetting it. And I can do this remotely. So I had installed a program on the AVR that was just a good old serial terminal program. It was spitting out some kind of serial message on the AVR's DX line. The HM10 was picking it up and shooting it off to the receiver. So I had the hardest time with the setup because what would happen is the Lumi uploader would make connection with the remote HM10 AVR combo, and it would be ready to receive data from the AVR, and it wouldn't get anything. And it's like, dude, what's the deal? Why aren't you sending any information across the Bluetooth Low Energy serial line? And I could switch over to an HM10 and the HM10 AVR combo. So the HM10s are talking to each other, and I'm looking at the serial data on the HM10 in like a real term, so a terminal program. And the AVR HM10 combo was sending out the the data there. So I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Well, come to find out, it had to do with HM10's had to do with HM10's firmware behavior. So there is a piece of code on the HM10 that controls the natural resting I/O states of the HM10. So this can be found in the data sheet. The behavior can be controlled with this command AT plus AFTC, and this sets the natural resting state of one of the I/O pins after it's made connection over Bluetooth Low Energy. So there you go. I encourage you, if you're having any trouble with the high-low problems or any problems with HM10, the high and low, that you refer back to there. So in my scenario, what was happening is when the Lumi uploader was making connection with the HMI10 or the HM10 rather, it would immediately send the pin low. So it wasn't receiving any data because the AVR was in reset mode. So it wasn't running. It wasn't running, and it wasn't spitting anything out over the serial line. Oh my goodness, what a silly bug, and it took me forever to really track down what the issue was. So number one, interesting bug. The second one is one that I'm still working on. So let's just take a look at that real quick. So we've got Visual Studio Community Edition up here. And if we run the Lumi bootloader, excuse me, the Lumi uploader program, we'll get the nice little application. I say nice little application. Will be when I finish it, I hope, right? We're going to search across the Bluetooth Low Energy, and I guess it would probably help if I actually turn something on so that we can look at it. If I have anything set up. Let me pause a second and set that up. Okay, so we've got a little we'll set up here. So this is the little bob board that I built. Let's see if we can get that up there. Come on, autofocus. What do we pay you for? Anyways, this is a little bob board that I built. So it's really just an Atmega 328p with an HM10. Well, that's actually an HM11, but you get the idea on the back here. So Bluetooth Low Energy equipped. Arduino board. There you go, right? Okay, so we're going to set that there. Coming back to the program, let's take a look and see if we can find them. So we're going to search for Bluetooth Low Energy. Isn't that nice? Searching asynchronously. We found the Bob Brain board. We're going to connect. I said we're going to connect to that little guy. Our secret code. And then, all right, you ready for the fun part? So here's the bug. I'm going to move this over, and this is what we're going to see down here. So when I hit connect, first off, we're going to select the appropriate pin. And so for the HM11, I've got it set up on this PIO2, so the IO2 pin. So what we're going to see here is when I hit connect to the TSB, it's supposed to send a signal to the HM11 to lower the AVR's reset line and then raise it, and then immediately send a handshake signal. So what's happening is it has this is event driven based upon RX data received events. So what it seems to be doing is it seems to be sending data to tell the pin to lower, lowers the pin, it sends back an okay, we lowered the pin. When it receives that, it then sends the command to raise the pin, right? And at that point, it's, and this is the part where it gets to be a bug, it's sending back saying, okay, we've raised the pin, but it doesn't actually fire until you interact with the UI. Okay, so I'm thinking it's a threading issue. So let's see if we can actually get it to happen. So what I want you to do is look down over here, and you should see, okay, PIO2 :0. That means that it's lowered the pin. It's in the state 0. And then it should almost immediately raise the pin back up to 1, and we should see down there, okay, PIO2 1, meaning set high. But this is what we get. Ready? So as you can see, it says PIO2. Now watch this. I've done nothing, but I'm going to move the mouse, and when I move the mouse, boom, we've raised the pin. So it now says PIO2 :1, and we make connection with the bootloader. That's what this information is here. So what the hell's going on, right? Anyways, just 2 interesting bugs that I thought I'd point out in my little journey here. All right, have a good night. Peace, all that jazz.